What do General Electric executive Beth Comstock, Hollywood producers Brian Grazer, and Ron Howard, and it could be, right, and Viacom execs all have in common? They're all coached by our next guest. We call him the CEO tutor. He's Brad Grossman, founder of Grossman Partners. He's also founder of Zeitguide.com. And I met him. I don't know. I probably met you about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 years ago when you were working for Brian Grazer. There's been a big piece about him in the New Yorker, how he tutors CEOs. You're not like a management guru, really.
No.
You actually tutor them on like culture and life.
Teach him hair care products, Brian Grazer? No?
No, I think he knew a lot about that before me. Yeah. I teach them anything they need to know, they feel that they need to know, and anything I feel that they need to know.
Like what? What would be an example?
Well, right now, we're experiencing a world of intense digital disruption, which I no longer think of as disruption anymore. It's more a digital opportunity. And corporations have to change. They have to change in all ways. There's new generations coming into the workplace.
But you talk to people about movies and culture and all sorts of things that have nothing to do with like their day-to-day business?
No, I'll teach them anything they need to learn about. Not just for them, but for their customers and for their colleagues.
So explain this in the New Yorker piece.
That was 4 years ago.
I know, but when you were leaving Brian Grazer, in the piece, they were trying to find a replacement for you, which they didn't because you still work for Grazer.
Right. They said
you will be to Grazer what Karl Rove was to Bush.
Okay.
What was that about?
I don't know what they really meant by that, but I think somebody who was a intellectual advisor who would think about the world and think about culture and think about society and the conversations that people are having in every single vector.
I can understand how you wouldn't want to give out what you have told specific clients because that's kind of between you. But let's not name a client. Why don't you tell me some of the more interesting things, offbeat things that you might teach somebody, a CEO or something that may not have known before?
Okay. Well, one of the things that I do is, as Andrew mentioned, I do this thing called the Zeitguide, which is a cultural almanac. And once a year I publish it, and you can get it on Zeitguide.com. And what we do is try to give you like a big picture sensibility of what's happening in every field, from food, so one thing that could be interesting is that the farmer is going to be the new hero. We're going to have
farmers. What does that mean?
Well, by 2050, we're going to run out of food. We're going to have to figure out how to grow 70% more food. And that can be very much combined with technology because if you see what's happening in Nigeria, people are using mobile phones to basically make sure that all the farmers are getting the right fertilizer, the right number of seeds to create transparency so more people are excited about investing in this opportunity.
Okay, so the most interesting thing I saw in the Zeitguide, and this Joe and Becky, everyone will appreciate, is this idea that in the future we're not going to use email, or email is going to change because we're all overwhelmed by email.
Right.
And that there's like a new form of email is going to happen?
Well, what people are talking about, especially Salesforce, which seems to be the leader or they have the best marketing team behind it, is this new thing called the social enterprise. It's basically taking what we've learned on a consumer level, how consumers have been using the internet, how consumers have been using social media, and taking that mechanism into your business so that you can basically communicate on a much easier level with your employees and your colleagues as well as manage relationships with your customers. What do you mean?
What does that mean?
Well, people spend 28%.
Right now, I email with Joe. We get CNBC sends out thousands of emails every day. It's almost
we're going to do it standard telepathically. We're going to have those glasses where you can surf the web with your glasses. Then I'm going to send you an email by using brainwaves that you're going to pick up in your app. Yeah, I'm going to do. It's going to be almost telepathy, which we have that already.
I know.
Can you?
So then you don't need it.
We don't. But seriously, I was here.
But if you have 300,000 employees that you're managing and customers that are even, a multiple of that number, you need it. You need it. People spend 28% of their day answering emails.
Can you have a Zeitguide for 1985? Can I get that? I need the new stuff to communicate with Andrew. He needs the old stuff to communicate with me.
And that is part of my service.
Really?
Yeah, because Andrew and I are similar in age.
Can you tutor me in the
history like Chauncey Gardner? I'll bring that up. He has no idea what I'm talking about. You bring up Argo, it's like Ben Affleck's a moron. I don't want to know anything he's ever done. So, I mean, we have a hard time communicating.
You think you could do a weekly tutoring session for both of us?
Absolutely. Well, that's our service. First of all, it's not just me. I have an entire team. And I hire somebody for each vertical. So I have my tech guy, guy, even though I'm saying that tech is going.
Will you tell him, Chauncey Gardner, was that not the greatest
being
movie?
there?
Yeah,
absolutely. As Brian Grazer taught me, that is a movie about manners.
It's the greatest. And
yes.
we had a money manager on who had never seen it, and he started telling us that the stock market,
no idea
the stock market is like a garden. You need to grow the roots and water it. And I go, you're joking, right? This guy, he had never seen it either.
Right.
So we need somehow to.
But that is part of my.
Like a 2 for 2.
See, I understood what he said. He's going to let us talk like we're contemporaries instead of father
from different generations.
Son. Yeah.
Well, again, I'm trying to say that Andrew and I are from similar generation,
but you know
right?
all this stuff. Maybe you should come on the. Can you read a teleprompter?
I've been trained, yes.
Well, there you're different again.
We know how to learn and teach everything. Yeah. But again, they're not just CEOs who are our clients, and we call them established leaders, people who are at the top of their field and feel like that they need to keep learning and growing and evolving, but also emerging leaders.
I need the 2012 Zeit thing.
It's 2013. 2012 is over.
See what I mean?
Zeitguide.com.
You already got it 2013, even though it hasn't.
Yeah, because I want it to be the reference book that everybody goes to for the entire year.
What's new in the first 3 days of this year? What's in the Zeitguide right now?
Well, the Zeitguide is published. But what am I thinking about?
What's the new thing in the last 3 days, like the 2013 version?
Well, of course, we're the fiscal cliff. We're talking about Sandy. We're thinking about all that kind of stuff, optimism, which you guys have been talking about.
YOLO's out, right? You don't say that anymore, right?
What is YOLO?
You only live once. I hear that's one of those terms that they threw that out.
Well, the first thing in the Zeitguide, we talk about VUCA. Volatility, uncertainty.
What is it?
Ambiguity. VUCA.
Yeah.
VUCA.
Yes. VUCA. Yeah, it's a military term to talk about the instability.
Like FUBAR.
Do you use that at like a cocktail party? VUCA?
You can.